Well, I had high hopes of doing a demo with this old Case 900 Disker today. I don't think it's going to happen though. I got it dragged out of the woods here. It was sitting there, trees growing up around it. The problem seems to be I have one hydraulic cylinder with case ends on it. I borrowed that off the rotary mower. Unfortunately, the hoses are too short to reach all the way back here, so all I can do is pull it around with the discs up in the air. I put a chain on to drag it out of the woods here because I couldn't get back in to hitch up without moving that grain auger. So a bit of a look around. This here is a farmer modification. First few years Dad had this thing, it used to twist off this bell crank assembly for the lift. He had it welded several times and it never lasted. Eventually we looked at a slightly newer model Disker and found that they had this additional brace in. So that's what we added on. And it's been good ever since. It's got various little spots with some farmer welding on it. I know at one point the rear axle snapped and left the wheel laying in the furrow. It used to have a full set of cast weights, inner and outer. They've been removed and used somewhere else. All the discs are still here. Bearings are good as far as I can tell. Slight bend in that one. It has the seating attachment, of course. All the tubes are removed and in storage somewhere or other. It's a fairly good seating implement, as I recall. More welding right there. So there's not a whole lot more to see on here. This was your drive for the seed beatering system. There was a short shaft here with U-joints on it. Went down to the land wheel, which turned, and it had a clutch in here actuated by the hydraulic lift. When you lift your disc out of the ground, it would disengage the seed drive. No doubt it's all seized up and well rusted after decades of sitting. I did pull it around and do a little disking with it here maybe 10 years ago just to see if it still worked. Yeah, that's pretty much it. One thing I got to say about case paint in the 1950s or early 60s, they were very, very durable paint on them. Oh, another little detail. Your acreage counter was mounted on here. Ran off this worm drive seed shaft that counted your acres. Little sprocket and chain deal there. That was, I believe, the only drive for the seed meter shaft. And it's pretty much a ritual every spring. You'd have to get out with penetrating oil and soak all these runs here, get a wrench on there and get it to turn freely. They always managed to rust up over winter. I don't think I showed the seed adjustment system on here. Crude but state-of-the-art for the 1950s. You'd pull out on that and, well, obviously it's seized up solid now, but that would vary your pounds per acre. Pull it one way to decrease, the other way to increase. It was a 2-section box, so there's one for each section. So there you have it. It was a pretty good match behind the 730 case or the Cockshutt 50. But for today, it's not going to happen unless I can put case ends on a different cylinder with a longer hose. And I don't see that happening today. I got too many other things planned. It's an exceptionally warm day for October. I think we're hitting the 70-degree mark, and You're not going to get much more of this. Alrighty, we'll call that quits for now. Hope you liked the video. Stay tuned for another one from the Roosty 6 channel. Well, I better just add this footnote here. It would not tow at all if it wanted to go this way, that way, wheels dragging sideways. I think what's happened here, this is supposed to be pointing that way. That wheel has gone past where it's ever supposed to be, and it can't come back. So I'm going to have to jack it up and twist it back into position. Once you're in the normal field working position, I don't think there's going to be too big a problem, but pulling it out on such an angle must have stressed it a little bit more than it could handle. Alright, to be continued. Alright, I'm parking it for today. I think the problem was mostly in this casting here. This spindle is very hard to rotate, so when you try to turn, the hitch gets all twisted out of place. So I've got penetrating oil, grease, oil, whatever in there. I got it parked in a different rotation than what it had been sitting for the past 10 years or so. So hopefully that'll soak down there and loosen up. So for now we're gonna pull the pin and call it a day.